Hello children, welcome back. We are going to continue with chapter 10, the story of cricket. If you look at the game's equipment, you can see how cricket both changed with changing times and yet fundamentally remained true to its origins in rural England. Cricket's most important tools are all made of natural, pre-industrial materials. The bat is made with leather, twine and cork. Even today, both bat and ball are handmade, not industrially manufactured. So, when we talk about the equipments that are used in cricket, bat and ball are still completely handmade and it uses all the natural materials. It does not use anything that is man-made. Okay, and it also does not manufacture, the bats are also not manufactured in the industries. They are still handmade. So, even though many changes occurred in the game of cricket, it still stayed true to its nature, to its origins, which were in rural England. The material of the bat changed slightly over time. Once it was cut out of a single piece of wood. Now it consists of two pieces. The blade, which is made out of the wood of the willow tree, and the handle, which is made out of cane, that became available as European colonialists and trading companies established themselves in Asia. So, earlier times, bats were made using one piece of wood. So, the whole bat was made from one piece. But then, the blade of the bat was made of wood, from the wood of willow tree, and the handle was made of cane, which was now available in Europe because there were many colonies from Asia under the Europeans. So, they could easily get their hands on cane. So, now the handles used to be made of cane and the blade used to be made of wood. Unlike golf and tennis, cricket has refused to remake its tools with industrial or man-made materials. Plastic, fiberglass and metal have been firmly rejected. So, like tennis and golf, it does not use any man-made materials like plastic, fiberglass or metal. But in the matter of protective equipment, cricket has been influenced by technological change. The invention of vulcanized rubber led to the introduction of pads in 1848 and protective gloves soon afterwards. And the modern game would be unimaginable without helmets made out of metal and synthetic lightweight materials. See, the balls and the bats were made handmade using natural materials. But the safety equipments like the gloves, pads, helmets, they were used of different materials like with the invention of vulcanized rubber. Now pads and rubber gloves were now possible. Also the helmets were made of metal. Now how did cricket reach India? The origins of Indian cricket are to be found in Bombay, and the first Indian community to start playing the game was the small community of Zoroastrians, the Parsis. The Parsis were the first ones from India to start playing cricket. Brought into close contact with the British because of their interest in trade and the first Indian community to westernize, the Parsis founded the first Indian cricket club, the Oriental Cricket Club, in Bombay in 1848. Parsi clubs were founded and sponsored by Parsi businessmen like the Tatas and the Wadias. See, Parsis were directly in contact with the Britishers. Because of that, why? Because of their trade. And they were the first ones to westernize. Also, they adopted this game of cricket. They also formed a cricket club which was called Oriental Cricket Club in Bombay in 1848. And who used to sponsor this? The rich businessmen of those times like Tatas and Wadias. The white cricket elite in India offered no help to enthusiastic Parsis. In fact, there was a quarrel between the Bombay Gymkhana, a whites-only club, and Parsi cricketers over the use of a public park. Now, the Britishers did not cooperate with the Parsis at all because obviously cricket wasn't our game. So, Parsis were not that familiar with the game. So, they would need help from the Britishers, but they were not willing to help. The Parsis complained that the park was left unfit for cricket because the polo ponies of the Bombay Gymkhana dug up the surface. When it became clear that the colonial authorities were prejudiced in favor of their white compatriots, the Parsis built their own gymkhana to play cricket in. The rivalry between the Parsis and the Bombay Gymkhana had a happy ending for these pioneers of Indian cricket. A Parsi team bet the Bombay Gymkhana at cricket in 1889, just 4 years after the foundation of the Indian National Congress in 1885, an organization that was lucky to have amongst its early leaders the great Parsi statesman and intellectual Dadabhai Navroji. So, slowly it became clear that Britishers would not cooperate at all. Now, there was a public park where the Britishers as well as the Parsis used to play. Now, Britishers used to play polo over there. So, these Parsis complained that because they play polo over here, the horses would leave the ground unfit to play cricket later. But they were not getting any cooperation. So, they set up their own ground. The Parsis set up their own ground to play cricket. And after 4 years, there was a match between Parsis and the Britishers, in which the Parsis won. This was after the Indian National Congress was formed, and at that time, amongst its top leaders was one of the Parsis, one of the most famous state person and intellectual, Dadabhai Navroji, who supported the Parsis a lot. So this was a brief history of how cricket entered India. We shall continue in our next lecture. Bye bye.